I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
DMWATS.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it.
So what's going on, everybody? I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
And guys, welcome to another episode of DMWATS Podcast. So watch how short this is. You guys can catch us at DMWATSpodcast.com. Boom.
That's it.
That's it.
And done.
And done. Catch us at DMWATSpodcast.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, all those other things are going to be at DMWATSpodcast.com. Hey, we're still Dozers. I know you guys see what's happening, AMC, and we are still doing the Sheba. We are not done here. So that's how we get down on this side. We're not done. We are down, but definitely not out.
Never out.
Never out. So that's how that goes. But hopefully guys are having a good day. We have some exciting news to say.
We do. Can I tell them?
Yeah, you tell them.
Okay. I found Clearly Canadian at the grocery store.
Okay, that's not the news I was going for, but I did. Yeah, that's Clearly Canadian.
But it's my news. And if you're like me and love Clearly Canadian water,
Clearly
it's
Canadian.
at your local grocery store. I hope. At least it is here in Kansas.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
boom, that was my exciting news.
And you know what? Let her have that. Because you know what? She had been asking. And here's the thing. They had said it was there. And we went looking and couldn't find it. And then today, the other day, I said, hey, we were walking and I was like, hey, there's Clearly Canadian. And then I stopped and I realized what I just said. And I turned around. And her mouth was open. I only knew it was open. We wear masks, but the look on her face, I just knew her mouth was open. And she was, oh my God, her eyes got all big, and you would have thought she had seen a celebrity. You was, oh my God.
I did.
Oh my
I
God.
Saw a celebrity from my childhood. It was my
but,
water's back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not too sweet. It's not too bitter.
Yeah.
It's the perfect water.
Mm-hmm. So
anyways,
but hey,
that's my news. Sorry to hijack it.
No, you didn't hijack anything. I'm just glad that it all worked out because she was happy about that.
I'm still happy about
that.
that.
And so the other thing that we want to talk about today is, guess what, people? We are now in 11 countries.
Oh, we are. Oh, yeah,
we are in 11 countries.
That's happy news too.
That is very, very, very happy news. So
it is.
Yeah, and so it is. I think we just hit Senegal.
Yes, Senegal.
And was it France?
France.
Yeah.
Japan. Norway, Sweden.
Russia
loves us.
Yeah, Russia
hey,
really
Russia, what's up?
Exactly. And I think we're in Canada too, right?
We're in Canada now.
Yeah, I can't remember them all, but
we're in Canada A.
Canada, yeah, that's what it is. So hey, what's up, Drake? But hey, no, once again, hey guys, seriously, thank you for the support.
Yeah,
you guys continue to watch us.
It was a very welcome surprise.
It was a very welcome surprise, so thank you. And moving on into it, I'm gonna go ahead. It's my turn to go ahead and push the fishbowl topic and see what I bring out here.
You didn't cycle through it very long. I feel like that's, I don't know. I'm superstitious.
Well,
okay?
Yeah, it's
fine. Anxiety.
Well, as long as you ain't finna go into super angry mode over what this is. And people, today's fishbowl topic is gender roles. You can't see it, it's too bright. But anyway, it's gender roles. Yeah. Cleaning versus construction. Remember I said you can't go into full anger mode on this.
I can't go full Super Saiyan Karen.
You can't go Super Saiyan Karen on this.
We call it Super Saiyan Karen at our house.
Man, I am so glad that we pulled this topic. So we probably either gonna lose some people or gain some people. Either one, we're fine with it. So do you want to start it off?
I don't know. I'm starting to develop my facial tics.
So gender roles. Let's take it back before we bring it forward.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Back to let's go back to the time where
I would have been in the home and cooking and baking and drinking the vanilla extract that was 100% alcohol.
Yeah. So okay. But back then, gender roles, that's what it was. They looked at men as the ones that went out and did, the breadwinner that went out and did work.
They did, yeah. And I don't think because of when you were born versus when I was born, even though there's not that huge of an age gap, I make fun of it, but it's not that big. 5 years is not that big. However, in terms of things like a woman's movement or even a racial movement, it's a huge gap. 5 years can be, even in technology, 5 years can be anything.
It can.
So I grew up with a lot of older World War II, women. Your family's a little bit more modern and younger. So I introduced you to explain to you the whole thing
Yeah.
about the women's movement and how we weren't worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
That 1940s
Right.
movie.
Right. Yeah. I can't remember it. Yeah.
I can't. Night Shift. Was it Night Shift? Swing Shift. Swing Shift. That's the name of it. Anyways, it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the fact, during World War II, the guys left the factories that made the planes.
Oh,
because
yeah,
they
that's
went
right.
to
I
go
remember that one.
fight in World War II. And the women had to pick up the slack.
Right.
And so then it was like, the men were coming home on leave and like, who, you're having an affair. And she's like, no, I'm the lead man. I'm the supervisor at work.
Yeah.
And they'd get jealous. And it's like, women can't do this. They can't take over our factories. And then when the war was over, a lot of them were fired.
Yeah.
And they had made a way, and their husbands had died overseas.
Right.
And they had made the planes to help the war effort and were providing for their families because, excuse me, but back then the US government did not pay very well.
Yeah. Still don't.
And so then they're fired. And it's like, wow,
Yeah. And moving forward.
My grandmother was a Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
So
and then moving forward though, things have changed.
No,
but they at the same time they still have remained the same.
They've remained the same.
Things have changed. Like, there are more women doing things that were traditionally like a men thing.
But it really is. It depends on where you live in our country.
Right. True.
Because I could work all day long, all year long, in whatever industry I wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Construction, for instance, carpentry, handiwork in Massachusetts.
She did it for 8 years, people.
North of Boston.
8 years of construction.
And it was no big deal. And I made excellent money. So much so that when I moved back to Kansas, I couldn't even get hired for $5 an hour. And I had this skill set, but it was because they saw makeup and the pink hair and they're like, oh,
yeah,
she's just a ditz. So I lived here and would travel back to Massachusetts to make money to last me for a few months, and I'd go back and forth.
And that's ridiculous. All because like, hey, judge me by my work, not by what I look like. You know what I mean? So
and I had a hell of a portfolio.
my gender, I should say. You know, and that's crazy. And like nowadays, even I'll speak from a military perspective, that there was a huge fight to like, hey, no, let women be in special ops, because there for a long time, like you could as a woman, I can remember looking at certain jobs, and I remember if it was a woman, if it was a job like special ops, it was like, hey, this job is for men only. No women are allowed to. I can remember seeing that, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. It's special ops. You don't want a female to be captured and they use her against you.
Sure.
But what's the difference if it's your male counterpart being used? If that's your homeboy that you went through training with and so on and so forth, and they use him as makes any difference as a female? That's a fellow warfighter, period.
Right.
Not that's a woman. Yeah, as a fellow warfighter that went through the same stuff that I had to go through to get here.
That's a sister in arms.
That's their sister in arms. There's a brother in arms and their sister in arms. But nowadays, I feel like, that the things have gotten switched and twisted to the point where, this type of conversation has taken a different type of, I guess, convo, different turn. Because now when you start talking about gender roles, people are considering themselves different genders now. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, some men want to be considered women.
Yeah.
And some women want to be considered men.
Well, okay. So for me, that's a different kind of gender role battle, though.
Yeah.
This is a different one, and we're seeing it with the Olympics. There's a person, I'm going to call them person, because I don't. Please forgive me. I don't remember if it's. I don't remember which way it went.
Yeah.
But they're a weightlifter,
and
they're going to be the first trans. Apparently to lift weights in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And so
that's a tough one.
Okay. Well, but I guess it does, because I'm sitting in my mind and I'm like, we've talked about the whole physical thing, just because of hormones, you can go through the change. And I'm not saying that your mind, if that's what you know in your heart and soul to be, and you need to do something to take care of that, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact remains, I'm still going off of things like bone structure,
Right.
power,
And that's
things like that. But then here's the thing with that though. So then any redneck USA could have said the same thing when looking at me, going, well, she can't climb a ladder and hammer nails into a roof.
mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because she's a woman,
she doesn't
she's
have the
pretty
physicality
yeah.
of it. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have, you know, she's softer. She doesn't have this chiseled, you know, it does not matter how many weights I lift, and I used to work out a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still soft. I'm curvy, and my arms never get, you know, gunny. I'm not, I'm just not built that way.
Yeah.
But it didn't mean I couldn't do the job.
Yeah. But I think there's the more underlining to that. Excuse me. Also, because when you start talking about things like that, you know, like in your situation, that's by looks, you know what I mean? And that's what their thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, oh, she's pretty and she's probably not going to be able to do this job because of this and this, versus somebody that wants to be like that weightlifting thing. It's like, no, your ideology, your DNA, you were born an actual male and you want to transition to be a female. Look, we ain't got nothing against you doing that, but there are certain things that you can't change about. You can't change your bone structure. You can't change the way you build muscle, you know, versus, you know what I mean? Certain things like that.
And I understand that.
But you can go and do that job of construction. You've already demonstrated it.
Sure.
That nobody has demonstrated that they can change their bone structure.
Well,
they can change it, you know what I mean?
Right. But then that goes to prove that ergo that gender roles is a theory. It is a thought.
Yeah.
It is a discrimination.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
Is something in your head that says because they don't look like this, they can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. But
society plays into that by telling us you're supposed to go to work and I'm supposed to stay home raising the kids.
And on that one, yes, on that, right, 100% agree when it comes to that. You know, but when you're talking about so much as like when it comes to transgender and things like that, switching because you've had a surgery or you take hormones or whatever, it does not change inside what you got going on with your bone structure. Like, I mean, let's take for instance the UFC transgender fighter.
Ooh.
The UFC transgender fighter that went it right, that was a
bad.
male and then was transgender to a female, fought in female, beat the hell out of this woman. I mean,
and let's not get it twisted. I don't want to go up against any MMA fighter. My trainer in Boston used to be an MMA fighter, was one, and I wouldn't have nope.
And I don't think that
wouldn't have messed with them.
Yeah, because when it comes down to it, look, this is not an attack on the I just say alphabets because I don't know when it comes, and that may sound they may hate that one, but you know, at the same time, it's like, look, it's every time I turn around, there's a different letter, and now there's a symbol. It's a question mark too, right?
Sure.
There's a question mark, and then there's what, unknown is what it was, the U.
Well, yeah, that's what the question mark, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, and I look, I guess when it comes down to it, it's like, I believe that everybody should have equal rights, period. I'm not,
there you go.
I'm not chumping on anybody's rights. You should have a right to go, and if I want to change and be from a male to a female, that's fine. But I think the problem there is that because you have that right to do that, doesn't give you the right to all of a sudden demand change and be like, no, now we should be allowed to do this and this and this too. No, you have that right, but wait a minute. When is it too far when you start talking about rights versus, hey man, that's
so okay. And yes, I see where you're going with that. But I want to, after I say this, I want to get back to
just the roles.
Gotcha. I don't want to talk about because that is
that's a
completely different visual topic.
Yeah, it is. That's a deep one. I went super deep on that.
You did.
Sorry.
You took gender and took it into what we're dealing with now in the news instead of what, you know, and it is an issue.
It is.
But there are so many issues. And I want you to jog my memory though, because what were we watching the other day? And the guy said, oh God, it was Michael Che.
Okay.
Wasn't it? We were watching.
I don't know what you're saying.
So
I don't know
that
what you're
damn,
talking about.
there's a show called
That damn Michael Che.
That damn Michael Che, and he's the guy off Saturday Night Live. It is hysterical. Please go
Yeah.
watch it. It's
HBO
so
Max.
good. If you just get the 7-day trial and watch that, it is so worth
That
it.
damn Michael
Because
Che.
he's so dry in humor, but it's so true. Like you look and you're like, oh wow, that was kind of deep. And he said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, the gays are so bold because they're asking for equality. Gay and trans people are asking for equality.
Yeah. They're asking for equal rights.
Equal rights.
And then he was like, black people just wanted civil rights.
They just want civil rights. They just want to be civil.
Civil. Yeah,
we just want you to be civil to us.
Yeah, civil to us. Not even equal. Can we just be civil?
Right. So, and I mean, again, DMWATS podcast at Gmail. Attention, Michael Che. Because he said it, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, think about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy how there are groups that struggle, but I think going back to the gender roles as we know them to be, as we grew up, man versus woman or woman versus man, I think you were not until, you know, you and I would talk about it and I would show you documentaries, or we watched that one with Will Smith.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what
you didn't realize. That was a good one too. Look it up. You Seventh Amendment, something like that.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
You didn't realize the struggle of what women went through.
Yeah, and that was
and black women.
Yeah, just women. Yeah,
just women.
Women in general.
Most women just don't even. It's like we're a woman. We get it because we're our own creature. We just truly are. Because
if you excuse me, when you look at it from a woman's standpoint, like every woman here in a nutshell we call it different, whether it's, you know, sexism or anything. It's a form of in its own racism. We just change the ism to sex.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But because think about it, in the field that I was in as a firefighter, as a firefighter, like women firefighters, there are a lot of female firefighters.
Now there are.
And there
wasn't when I was a little girl.
Right. When I was going through fire school, you know, the females, they got it just as much as we did when it came down to it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, hey, you want this equality and you're here for a reason. Don't turn it around into something so much as gender.
Sure.
It's like, don't go over there and feed into the stigma of, you know what I mean? Of like, hey, the females that I was in school with used to be like, hey, no, I'm here because I want to prove.
Because I can prove that I can do it. And this is my passion and what I want to do.
Yeah. So,
I mean, like, you can't sit there and say I'm a badass and then go through training and they're picking on you because you're a woman and start crying.
But that's the thing. You're not getting,
but I'm a woman.
You're not getting picked on.
You don't get to have both sides of it.
You get yelled at just like the rest of us.
Yeah. Work on a construction site north of Boston.
Yeah. You get yelled at just like everybody else.
You're
just
as stupid as everybody else on that job site.
Yeah. And so when it comes down to it, I think that.
But I did have to prove myself. And
absolutely.
I think that's the thing. I think that's where I get mad because, and I'm going to do this without getting mad. I would watch 16-year-olds over the summer, 18-year-olds had never, but were there with daddy or there with their uncle or there with their brother. And they're going to get a taste of construction, or they're there because it's their first day on the job. They don't have to prove themselves. They get put through a fraternity type drill, like I'll put your paycheck on the roof, or, you know, stupid stuff like that. But in no way do they have to prove themselves because they're a man. Every job site would go to would have to prove myself that I didn't need their help unless I asked, and that I could carry just as much weight as they could. And that I could do the job just as well as they did. I was taught just as well. And it was really, those days were my hardest days because otherwise I could just do the job. Tell me what to do. You're getting watched more
closely than the other ones.
You're getting watched. Then you get the young ones, or the, you know, those guys. Ones. Well, they're like, okay, you proved yourself. You know, here, let me help you. No, get the fuck away from me.
Mhm.
I'm doing my job. I'm
Mhm.
earning a paycheck just like you are.
And
I
there's-
need you to leave my area. Like,
but
don't tell me I'm doing something wrong when I just started it.
And therein lies the problem. But for every one of you, there's at least about 5 others that will grab onto that, but I'm a woman.
Oh, of
Do
course.
you see what I'm saying?
course
And
there
it's
is.
like, I feel like there aren't enough. There are a lot, but I feel like there aren't enough strong, independent
No.
women. You understand what I'm saying?
And it
Because
was-
that's what can jump those roles. That's what can
Sure.
make those roles harder. That can make males feed into that whole like, no, but you're a woman.
And it was hard too, because I have a thing about how I look, you know that.
Mhm,
I very rarely do you see me leave the house without makeup.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And when I do, I'm like freaking out. Like it's got to be an in and out gas station run.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hated the whole, they judged me on my look thing because I
Yeah.
had pink hair and I'd have, you know, just my normal clothes, but I fill out my normal clothes different
Right,
than a
right.
man does.
Mhm.
And I wear makeup
Yeah.
and I had painted nails.
Yeah.
And they thought because I had nails, then that meant I couldn't work. Like that I wasn't. No, I still had calluses on my hands. I just
Mhm.
happened to have very strong nails. I am Meg. My
Yeah.
superpower is
It's
I can
just
grow
my nails.
I can grow my nails. So
And,
it was just, you know, it was one of
yeah.
those, it was very hard. But then let's go to the bar.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm working it. I'm closing it down. I'm the bartender and the bouncer and security. And they would always sit there and go, why are you the one? Where's the man? Where's
Yeah.
the bouncer to save you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they left a long time ago because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
That's what
And-
I hate. We're capable too.
Mhm, exactly. And I think, like I said, I look at it from what my experience is just being in the military. And one of the biggest things that I harped on when it came down to equal treatment for women, I'm like, look, because that conversation obviously has come up when the more it's in the news was like, hey, women should be able to try out for Navy SEALs,
Sure.
this and this and that. And I said, well,
Didn't one just make it?
advanced warfare training. I don't know what that
Okay.
is to the SEALs. I don't know, but
Okay.
a female just made it through that. And yeah, that's a huge milestone. One of the biggest things that I've always argued against is like, okay, you're right. It should be equal treatment for men and women, starting with why are there different PT tests? Why are there different
Right.
standards for BT tests? Like, why is there not? Now, I realize that, you know, they're like, well, a man's, you know, mass and strength and
Well,
stuff,
and
but
that feeds into what you started
right,
with
that
the
feeds
whole
in
gender
exactly.
thing.
That's why I said I realized that point in it, but it's just like, okay, well, why not make it equal? But then I guess you're right. I'm probably putting my foot in my mouth by saying that exact thing, because going back to what I was just saying before, it's like, okay, well, you shouldn't be able to do this because you're a man, you're really a man, and then you're going to be a woman.
Well, yeah. And,
Yeah.
and that's but it goes for you guys too, though.
True.
And I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's only been in the last 10 years that men are accepted at a beauty salon to get a pedicure. Let's be honest.
I guess I have been going to get pedicures for easily over 10 years.
Okay,
So,
but what I'm saying is accepted in the last 10 years, where
Oh.
it's not like a freak out thing, like you get pedicures. Like,
but you know what? Even when we go get our pedicures, I still get the look sometimes.
yeah, you do.
I still get looks like, what are you doing in here?
It's so funny. Women get really uncomfortable.
Yeah, they like when I walk in and get a pedicure. Yes, I get pedicures.
Not by the people giving them.
No, hey,
They're
welcome back.
great.
Yeah,
they
welcome
know
back.
us there. They
Mhm.
know exactly what we want because
Mhm.
we go once a month. That is our guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
But again, there's that gender role thing
It
that
is.
says you don't get to get one.
yeah. And so and that's the thing. Like, we've walked in and I've gotten the stares from the people in the chairs
Yeah.
already. And I try to do the whole, hey, how you doing? And they'll turn around. I'm
That's
like,
hard.
whatever, I ain't here for y'all anyway. Move over. But sometimes I'll be wanting them to set me right next to them, right there. Set me right there, right next to
you're
them.
that person.
So, but you know,
But that goes then too.
well, mom, she had to deal with it too, right? Remember, she was a chef, and how hard it was.
my
Yeah, you know,
mother.
yeah.
Oh, my mother. If you're, even in the cooking industry, that is a thing. My mother was trained. She went to school for it. But the guy that wasn't, that's 20 years younger than her,
Mhm.
gets to start it. She's either Sue or the baker, or, shit, she wasn't even making as much as the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And it was not a reflection on what she could do. And she was a dedicated, great fantastic cook,
Mhm.
fantastic chef,
Yeah.
fantastic baker. She's got great ideas.
Yeah.
She makes it, she can execute it.
Yeah.
She was the only one that gave a crap about the cleanliness.
Yeah.
That woman worked her ass off for all of her life. Does not matter. She never made as much as the men.
Yeah.
Ever. And I would scream. I hated the chef she worked for.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, not the last, but
Yeah.
well, he knows. I made him a Grinch ornament one year for Christmas and took it to him. That was only like 5 years ago. And I was like, here, chef. And he's like, of course you'd give me the Grinch, because he knew I was vocal about it.
But-
I'm like,
and
why
that's-
isn't my mother working next to you?
Yeah. And
Why
that's
do
the
you have
thing.
her over here?
That's the thing. When you think about it, it's just like, look, a woman can, and it's proven that they can do anything a man can do, sometimes better. There are things that I have no problem telling my woman that she can do better.
anything.
Yeah, like if
do
y'all can see
better.
our house, yeah, she does construction way better than I can. I have no
I
problem.
taught
admitting
him
that.
how to
She
paint.
taught me how to do this stuff.
I
the
taught him how to
painting,
paint
the
walls and how to build a wall. We
That-
built the
look,
wall,
look,
and I
yeah,
mean
we-
all
yeah.
of that.
and so
How
you
to
know,
fix a fence.
absolutely. When we built the lattice.
Yeah, how
on
to
our
use
deck.
power tools,
Man,
how
all
to
that
use the saws, and
I'ma
he
tell you,
bought me
I have,
saws.
and
Oh
I
my
have
God, I
no
love my
problem. I
saws.
have no problem admitting any of this stuff. It's like,
And we
hey,
built a deck
we built the deck and
over
so-
over a very short time last
Mhm,
summer, and he was like, and I go, but do you feel that? Because that's me. Yeah, I like to look cute and pretty and prissy and all that, but I love that labor. I
Yeah.
love it. It clears my mind. It's meditative for me. When my body hurts,
Yeah.
it's something other than fibro at that point, because I've
Yeah.
worked my ass off. I've sweat, I've got tears, I've got blood stains, I've got rips and
Yeah.
sores, but I worked, and there was a reason for my pain.
Yeah. And
So, you know,
that's why I can say that when it comes down to it, like there really only sums it up to this. Don't be a dick. Yeah, that's really what it boils down to. Don't just don't, because your company could benefit. I mean, think about not even the construction field. Think about even in the business world, like a female CEO coming in.
women do
You know what I mean?
not make
It's-
as much as men.
right,
It's
and it's-
proven. It's like, it's for every dollar a man makes, a woman only makes, I think it's 75 cents now. I don't know.
And
I don't
here's
remember what they are.
Here's the really shitty part about everything that we're saying. Do you not know that there have been laws like equal pay laws put up before Congress and have not made it? Equal pay laws, like, no, you will pay women at the same rate that you pay the men in those positions, and Congress shoots them down.
Yeah.
I can't even, for the life of me, I can't understand it. These are the leaders of our country, but hey, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that is foul on so many aspects. We'll never say that our country is perfect, but damn it, seriously, something as simple as equal pay for doing the
Equal
same
pay
job.
for
You
the
would think
same
that's like
job,
something simple.
for the same education,
Yeah.
for the same output, for the same result.
And
Makes no sense.
makes no sense at
None.
all. Look, I
And
realized.
then, I mean, well, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but then we have gender roles in the home as well. And well, not so much our house, but I'm just saying, like, that's a big thing too. When men decided to start, staying at home to take care of the kids, to be the Mr. Mom.
Yep.
That was a huge thing. It was even a movie. Like, that was just something unheard of. And even though the woman was making, let's say, more than he could.
Yeah.
And it was feasible, because childcare is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How much childcare costs for two parents to work? One of those parents is giving up a paycheck for daycare. Bottom line, that's just the way it is.
Because I told mine, apparently it's a joke out there too, where if your woman makes more than you, you should be ashamed of yourself. I wish my woman would make more money than me.
Well, what are you always saying? No prenup.
Yep, no prenup.
Every time I do something, he's like, no prenup.
Yeah, no prenup. I want you to know that, like, y'all crazy, man. It's the dumbest thing ever. Now, I will admit that I have fallen into that gender role, thing, because it is a huge pet peeve of mine to have my woman out mowing the grass. It is. I will admit that is something for me.
And here's
that is
the thing,
that is a me thing.
And
like,
I
it's just
understand that, and that's fine, because I like to garden and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're hurting or sick, and the grass needs to be mowed, I cannot, like, that's like,
we
had that discussion a few weeks ago.
But I'm just saying, it ain't about, I'm just saying in general, You know what I mean?
And you won't let me take out the trash, which I'm okay with that. I'm good because I took out the trash
things,
all my adult life.
It could have been just,
But it's so sweet. There are things that I accept from you that are very kind and very sweet. And then there are those things that it's like, dude, like I can just build this. Why are we going to go buy it? Like, go give me the wood.
Yeah, and away we go.
But also, I mean, there's things like the kitchen. You have a certain way of doing the kitchen and that's your thing.
Yeah.
And so, it's not saying I don't clean the kitchen, but you mainly got the kitchen. That's your thing.
What it is it's a therapy for me, I guess. I'm like, hey, I get it. I turn on my music and then I zone out and just do the kitchen. So
I mean, it's funny how at home it's one thing, but it's just the gender role thing really trips me out. It's 2021, people.
Like, get over it. Like,
just get over it. And if you can do the job, I don't care what you are, what you want to be, or what you feel like you are. Just do your job.
Just do your job.
And get the same freaking pay.
We can say this, look, we get it. We have a lot of fun doing this podcast, right? So there are going to be certain fishbowl topics that's just like, shit, this is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we may offend, we may not offend, you may agree, you may disagree, but these are our opinions.
There
at the
are
end
opinions,
of the day,
and we still have a voice.
We still have a voice, whether you like it or not. This is what it is. So, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It is. The ridiculous part, and that feeds into the ridiculousness, right? That we can't even just say this without somebody getting that butthurt over it. You know what I mean? We can't even have the conversation without somebody getting that butthurt. If you're that person, look, pull the thing out of your thing. That I didn't go that far. You get what I'm saying. Pull a stick out of your ass. Let's do it that way. You get what I'm saying. So, hey, guys, thanks for listening to us, on gender roles. I mean, I really...
It's still a thing, people.
It is.
And if you see it happening, or if it's happening to you, guess what? It's not going to get better if you don't say something.
If you don't say anything.
If everybody would speak up, guess what would happen? Shit would change.
Yeah, speak up. Like, hey, get together. You guys, what's it at change.org? That petition. Yeah. Hey, look.
But you know what's just as good? A hashtag on Twitter.
Absolutely. Get with your congressman, man. Like, seriously, equal pay.
Something.
Seriously, I don't even understand why.
I don't.
But anyway,
but women weren't even allowed to vote. I mean, all men could vote before a woman could. And when it comes to women, it doesn't matter what our color is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're just not either allowed, or we're called a little girl, or we're just too stupid to understand because we got big boobs. It's just bullshit, and I'm tired of it. And while I'm at it and heated, and we're getting ready to sign off anyways, wear your fucking mask. This is stupid. Just wear it. It's a piece of fucking cloth. And you know what? It might help. And I think it did. I think wearing masks help. It definitely helped with my allergies. So what's the big deal, people? It's not a freedom thing. It's a right to live thing.
That's what it boils down to.
Wear your mask. Stop gathering if you guys aren't vaccinated. Stop being stupid about it.
The Rona is real. The variant is real.
Stay the fuck home.
And chill out.
Sorry.
So, hey, that's my wife's rant real quick. So
and that's my mouth from construction. Yeah. You're welcome.
See your month podcast, gmail.com. Since you missed it this time. That's all I'm saying.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Hey, now she know what that sound of that bus sounds like. Anyway, when she's not the driver.
You got me, baby. Gender roles have switched. It is no longer the wife throwing the husband under the bus. Tonight on DMWATS.
Yeah, I tell you. But hey guys, thanks for watching our show on gender roles. Signing off for hold on. DMWATSpodcast.com. Make sure you guys go to it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Doge to the moon, AMC to the moon, Sheba. You know what I'm saying? That's always, you guys take it easy out there. So signing off for DMWATS, I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
And we are DMWATS. Everybody please take it easy out there.
Bye.
That was good. Yeah, you were a little heated, but it's okay.
That happened.
Yeah, me guess. But it needed to be said. Yeah, it needed to be said though.